right, welcome to another episode of Keepers of the Gloom. I'm Kyle Tucker, 35 Chop. My guest today is
Doug Ledbetter, 40, Shirtless.
Shirtless. All right, so this is actually the guy, before we get into the interview, this is the guy who got this whole series started because he went downrange at
AO, Cascades. F3 Cascades.
F3 Cascades, and who's the brother that...
it was Rat.
Yes. So Rat was doing like a 60-second version of these. We thought it was awesome, and so we've kind of taken it, made it our own. So shout out to Rat, shout out to Cascades. We appreciate you guys. So that being said, where are you born?
Evansville, Indiana.
Indiana.
Okay,
cool.
Yep.
I would have guessed Arkansas.
Yep.
What do you do for work?
I'm a CPA with Ernst & Young.
Okay. What's your home AO?
That's a good question now. I moved around. It's AO TWT.
TWT.
Yeah.
Home region?
Home region, Wichita.
Okay. When we go to cafeteria, what's your go-to cafeteria drink?
A London Fog, which is steamed milk, Earl Grey tea, lavender, and honey. It's very manly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I walked in, my wife had a lavender candle burning, and I was
Sounds nice.
not a fan the other day. Okay, go to exercise or new cue.
I love a good Indian run. Like, I just enjoy them.
Okay.
I used to hate them.
Yeah, that's fair. What's the one that you now hate the most?
Oh, it's burpees. It's always burpees.
It's always burpees?
Yeah.
Ever and always.
Forever.
Okay. Let's talk about your journey. How did you hear about F3?
Flenderson invited me. So actually, a year ago tomorrow, we had our first beatdown at Fortress.
Okay.
And he invited me to that. And it caught me at the right time of just like, yeah, I don't have an excuse and I need to just dive into this. And here we are. Puked the first time. It was awesome.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
In my garage.
Okay.
Yeah. It was awesome.
I wasn't there. Fair enough. So how did he invite you? You guys were friends at church or something?
Yeah, we've been friends. So I was in a small group over a decade ago.
Okay.
And so we've known each other a long time and hadn't done as much stuff together in quite a while, right? Still saw each other at church, but it was sort of just like, hey, in the typical Flenderson way, hey, I want to spend more time with you. Here's a way to do it. You should really come. Like stuff that's really hard to say no to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that just guilt trips you the whole way.
Yeah, I'm just like
100%.
at the right level. And,
Yep.
Yeah, and here we are.
So I know Flenderson probably like, oh yeah, it's just body weights and undersold a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, didn't give full disclosure, but what did you think about F3 before you actually showed up to your first beatdown? He's telling you
I didn't have any context for it. It was just like, here's a workout group, some guys are going to get together, and that's literally it. So had no idea. Just come. Okay. So I had no thoughts. It's probably better that way.
So do you remember what your first beatdown was?
So I think Flenderson cued it, and I remember a lot of murder bunnies, a lot of drag races. The biggest thing I remember is I couldn't stand in the circle of trust. I literally was sitting, my first time I was sitting on the ground and everybody else is standing and talking, and I'm just dead on the ground. Asking people to look me up. Yeah, I was toast.
So, was this the one at the practice field?
Yeah, the practice field.
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
What did you give him any excuses when he was inviting you out?
No,
Right.
I really didn't.
Just came.
I was just like, it caught me at the right time.
So you're about to hit your 1 year tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Great deal. So how would you describe kind of your F3, your first year in F3?
I think volunteer early on said it took me like 3 to 4 months to finish my first, truly finish my first workout, and that probably took me like 2 months.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was a drag, but I really enjoyed being around the men, fellowship. I could tell I was getting better. It was really after I came back the second time, that's when it caught. And so from there, it's just been a blast, right? I look forward. I never would have thought I'd look forward to getting up at 5 a.m., but I look forward to getting up at 5 a.m. because of the men we get to hang out with.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
Okay. Now, a lighter note. How did you get your F3 name?
Thank you for asking. This is for Flenderson. This is for Homecoming. This is for Coxon.
Bird check.
So a year ago, almost to the day, there was a game between Arkansas and KU in the tournament, and Arkansas beat KU and knocked them out, and Flenderson was really bitter about that, and our coach took his shirt off in celebration, and he decided to name me after my favorite team after a wonderful moment that I still enjoyed immensely, and so that's how I became Shirtless.
That's great. Great. And that was like early on in the tournament, right? That you guys beat them. They went out early because of
second or third round.
But that's typical.
It really is typical.
Really typical.
I mean, it's probably going to happen this year too.
This is coming from two guys who don't have a team in the tournament this year.
That's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah,
we can shoot shots. All right, highlights. What's your favorite F3 moment so far?
It's got to be one of the. Well, no. So I really enjoyed. I got to queue like on Thanksgiving Day, and I had travel problems, and so we did a travel beatdown, travel themed beatdown, and it wasn't a convergence, but we had like 50 dudes come out. That one was a blast. It was just, I don't know, it was a lot of fun to queue. That's probably my highlight.
Yeah. So we were talking about this a little bit yesterday in our shield lock, but what have been some health benefits that you've seen since joining F3?
Yeah, 20 pounds down, energy levels a lot better. Like my resting heart rate's probably down 10 points from 70 to sub 60. Yeah, I mean, just like everything I was looking for from a health standpoint. My cholesterol came down when I met with my annual checkup, like all the things you would expect from being active.
Good. What about mental? Any mental health benefits that you've noticed?
Yeah, I think just starting my day out this way, doing something hard, and just, I don't know, getting the endorphins and the energy throughout the day just really sets the tone. I miss it when I'm not here, right? Just like I notice a difference in how my day goes. I'm not starting out with as much of, I don't know, a flash and ready to go. And so, and just the encouragement, right? I mean, just getting to hang with the guys, share what's going on. I don't know, that starts my day with some intention. It's good.
No, absolutely. What's been, you already mentioned your travel workout, that was a good one, but what's been your most memorable beatdown and why? Not necessarily one you've queued, but...
I mean, so we worked hard on putting together the TWT launch, and that one was really memorable because it puts together two really big pieces of my life, right? With River, going to River Community Church, and then matching it up with F3, right? And having Tommy Boy out, having our pastor Terry come out and talk to the guys. So that merge of seeing my friends from F3 and my friends from River all getting to run around 90 people strong, that was pretty awesome.
And it was a just solid event in the morning. I mean, it was top class.
Burn check cooking for us. It was a blast.
That was awesome. Okay, now think about the region. You mentioned you had a hard time picking a home AO because you've been around a lot of different spots. Whose queue is a guaranteed push every time, where you kind of are a little scared to hit the hard commit button?
I mean, Heisenberg, but you do anyway because you know it'll be good. Yours because it'll have murder bunnies, but it's just what you're known for. I mean, Flenderson, like, there's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of them? Okay. What keeps you coming back to F3?
The guys. I mean, just the one, I know I'm going to get texts if I miss, like, hey, missed you, you okay? Like, that helps. But, man, you go like 3 days without being around. Or I went on my India trip week before last. It's like, man, I can't wait to get home, right? And just go get out with the guys. So it's the fellowship and it's the friendships.
Yeah, definitely. So you've invited a couple guys, right?
I've invited a lot of guys. I've successfully invited a few.
A few. Okay, so of the few that you've invited, which F3 son are you most proud of? And why?
Slippery's my guy. Okay. Slippery is my, like, I don't have a lot of success stories. I think of myself as somebody who helps grab onto people that other people invite at this point. But Slippery is my success story of, I had been on him probably for a month, and he had given me the text of, hey, does it cost anything to come? and then he would stop, and we wouldn't get there. And hey, I'm gonna come Monday. We wouldn't get there, but then he came to, I think he came TWT the first time.
Yes.
And he's been like just monster steady for probably a month now. So super shout out to Slippery.
Yeah.
Well done.
Shout out. Had coffee. Sat with him at coffee the other day. Good dude. Okay, close us out with this in a few sentences. Why is F3 so special to you?
And so I think the way I describe it is at the point in life that I was at, right at 40, I was 30, I guess I was 39 when I was 40 when I started. I had gotten to the point that I had a lot of vertical relationships, right? Like interacting with my employees at work, my kids, pouring into guys that were younger than me, and then I had mentors, right? Bosses or mentors, people pouring into me, and so a lot of vertical relationships. F3 has become my shoulder-to-shoulder relationships, and man, I didn't realize that I was light on that. I would have described myself as having a lot of friends, and hey, I'm good there, but F3 really highlighted to me that I was light on the depth and breadth of relationship that F3 has really given me. And so that shoulder-to-shoulder, peer-to-peer has been really special, and something that is what keeps me coming back and is my favorite part of F3.
So I'm not going to let you end there because I think that's a really interesting observation that is really why every guy says what keeps you coming back is the other guys, the horizontal relationships. Because you know a lot of people. I was texting you the other day about a guy. You know this guy? Yeah. Vertical and horizontal. I think a lot of us can relate to that, right? We've got a lot of people that we know at work, and that kind of relationship. What has having more deep and meaningful horizontal relationships done for you over the past year? And how do you describe it to somebody who hasn't maybe experienced that yet? What are they missing out on?
I think that leads, I think the way that we structure F3, right, with working out, honestly being at our worst at some point in that workout, right? I mean, we just worked out and I was huffing and puffing at different points, right? You're low, and then Fonz is low, and you're low, and right, I mean, we have our moments.
Yep.
I think doing that and starting out really sets the tone for I can share with these guys, I can be transparent with these guys, and it gives me that avenue, man, to just like be lifted up, right, and be encouraged in any tough situation. And then it becomes, right, the give it away of this is why we show up, is for the other guys. I'm excited to do that, right, and it's that give and take that I don't get anywhere else, short of now some deepening relationships with guys in my church, right, because some of my guys in my church are F3 guys too, and so I think it's that transparent friendship that lets you really bear each other's burdens that is a game changer.
Well said. Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. This has been another episode of Keepers of the Gloom. To learn more, visit f3wichita.com.